a men's rights activist. He brings a conservative point of view to black issues. His mission: to provide a forum for honest discussions about social issues without the liberal lapdogs shutting down the discussion. Broadcasting from the American Truth Project studios in beautiful Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. This is Conservative Nation with your host, Jermain Botsio.
Hello, 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 ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another edition of Conservative Nation with me, your gracious host, Jermain Botsio. And on today's show, you guys know what the deal is. Weekend Rumble. And let me tell you something, we gonna get it in. I got the one, the only Anthony Allen, liberal demon slayer from the South, joining me. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing fine, my friend. This is once again a great day to tell people how liberals and Democrats are destroying our country. This needs to be talked about every single day. You do it, I do it. Great conservatives are not afraid to talk about the destruction of our country, the destruction of America, the destruction of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness by liberals, the Democrats, and these Marxists. And we're going to do it today. We're going to do like we usually do. Go after them, no holds barred. We will go after them to let people know exactly what they're dealing with when we talk about Democrats and liberals.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you guys do share. We gonna need your help. We definitely gonna need your help. I'm trying to see some here on. Okay, so Facebook. For some reason, these people are such crazy folks. Let me go ahead here and restart our stream on Facebook because Facebook, they went and gave us some sort of copyright. I have no idea. These people do some crazy stuff and then they released a video. Let me go ahead and restart that here. Bow. All right. So while that's getting restarted, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you do share. We got a lot to discuss tonight. Let me tell you, a lot. All right. So we should be back on here. Let me make sure I take a look here. All right, let's give it a go here. Let's see. All right, should be starting here. Let's see here. Oh, let's see. All right. We're live. Perfect. All right. So, we're back live on the page. Let me go ahead and distribute that. Anthony Allen, while I'm doing that, let's get rocking with the show here. All right.
Sure
We
thing.
got a lot of folks here who are waiting, and I'm ready. All right. Perfect. I'm ready. First one up here, Anthony Allen, I want to speak to you about racism. We live in the day and age of what we call the race hoaxes. One of the biggest race hoaxes that we've seen so far this year, I should say, is by Jussie Smollett. He's been out there promoting his new book. Did you know he's putting out a book?
Yeah, there's a book and a song.
Yeah.
I couldn't even stand to listen to this song. I said, I'm not going to listen to this crap.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy, Anthony Allen. But yeah, he's out there. He's promoting a new book. He's going to be putting out a song. And one thing he knows, just like a lot of these other people, is that using these racism in a sense gets you money, power, and influence. And there's a lot of people out here who are craving it. I want to go ahead and speak to you about an NAACP president. He spoke out of turn when he was confronted by a disgruntled Black American about racism they received at a local restaurant. Instead of this Black president to, do his due diligence and make sure it was the real deal, he just went on what the person said, face value. And he ended up really, getting some serious backlash for his mistake. I want to go ahead and run this when it comes back. I want to get your take on this. When will these race hoaxes die? When will they? When will people smarten up and stop giving attention to insecurities? Here we go. Make sure you guys share. Hit that like button. I'm going to need your help. Here we go.
Was refused service. They did not put the white community over blacks in this period of time.
You are hearing it straight from the president of the Lee County NAACP. The civil rights organization found no evidence a downtown Fort Myers restaurant owner or his employees discriminated against Black customers. Thanks for watching NBC2. I'm Kelly Burns.
And I'm Peter Bush. This is a big about face. We first told you a couple of weeks ago a group of customers at the First Street restaurant claimed that the staff made racist comments. NBC2's Dave Elias is at the restaurant tonight revealing what the NAACP investigation actually found.
Well, tonight is Art Walk in downtown Fort Myers, and the owner of the First Street restaurant and bar is hoping that more people will start to show up here tonight now that the NAACP has issued this apology accusing the business of being racist.
No African American should be going back in that restaurant.
That was the NAACP president last week, talking about the First Street restaurant. This is him today.
I came out swinging maybe a little too hard.
James Muwakil saying in this letter he's sorry for accusing the restaurant of discrimination.
The reality that the First Street restaurant committed white supremacy amongst blacks is false.
Nora Potts claimed she and others were refused service.
You can sense that they didn't want us there.
Muwakil said that he saw video evidence that the restaurant was closing to all patrons after a malfunction in the kitchen.
No blacks was refused service. They did not put the white community over blacks in this period of time.
Potts and others accused a now terminated employee of a racist comment.
She said, I'm from Virginia, and I never seen as many black people at one time.
Terminating people just because they say, I ain't never seen as many white people. She may not have.
Patrons supporting
That's
the
what I
business
said.
pleased that the NAACP apologized.
Holy smokes.
Everybody makes a mistake, and at least you're coming forward and telling it like it is.
Now that's the owner of the First Street restaurant.
That's
and
white
he says
folks
he's
for
aware
you.
of the NAACP's apology, but he wants to make no further comments. He wants to put the whole thing behind him.
No, you
In
don't
downtown
put
Fort
the whole
Myers,
thing
Dave
behind
Elias,
ya.
NBC2.
Anthony Allen, I'm mad for this white man here. I'm mad. You see how that white woman was like, well, at least he apologized. Ma'am, he deserves an ass whooping. Let me tell ya. Because if the shoe was on the other foot, black folks ain't that forgiving. They're not at all, especially when it comes to things of this nature. White people need to get a backbone. Anthony Allen, let me tell you something. That black bitch, she put a lot of folks in danger. Made up, in my personal opinion, an exaggeration of a lie. You get what I'm saying? Her insecurities have led to people's gosh darn security being in danger. You know, a black folks could have went over there, throw Molotov cocktails in there, shoot, maybe killed and stabbed the waitress over some dumb lie. What do you think about this here, sir?
Your analysis is right on target, Jermain Botsio. This is what happens when we have these race hoax, these racism charges without any evidence whatsoever. People are allowed to just say stuff nowadays, and they tell lies about it, particularly if it's about race. Because the basis of this charge is this. This woman says you can sense they did not want us here. You could sense, you could feel that they did not.
Bow, hold on. All right. Well, let's see here. We're going to try to get Mr. Allen back here.
From Governor Greg.
We're going to try to get Mr. Allen back. Hold on for a second here. We had a hiccup. Let's go ahead and try to see if we can reconnect with Mr. Allen. Hold on. All right, go ahead, Mr. Allen. Okay. Sorry about that. Yeah, I don't know what happened. I think we had a hiccup or something. Go ahead.
This is just emotional thinking, and this is the projecting of subjective feelings as objective reality. This is extreme, what we're talking about here. And this racist comment was a white person saying they had never seen so many black people. The statement is not racist. That statement is an observation of reality, okay? Whenever me and my white friends go to Africa, Malawi, my white friends usually say, Anthony, I am surrounded. They are surrounded by black people. That isn't offensive. That is an observation of reality. Now, I do want to say that this NAACP president is being an honorable man. Mm-hmm. He is a gentleman. He is the epitome of what America is all about. He saw that he made a mistake, and guess what he did? He apologized. Now, that doesn't mean that the consequences are mitigated, okay? Because
there you go.
This woman, she tried to harm someone, called them a racist, made this other woman lose her job for saying, I have never seen this many black people in all my life, and almost made this man lose his business by saying, you could feel that they did not want us there. These are lies, and these are things that Democrats and liberals constantly do. They have a feeling that they want to be the reality, and that is a doggone lie from you know where. But I do think the community will be better because of this NAACP president stepping up like a man and telling the black community, cut it out. It did not happen. But like I say, you know, somebody needs to be sued, and the first person is that woman there that started
There
the
you go.
whole thing. Drag her to court and make her be responsible for what she did or tried to do.
Absolutely. It was a gosh darn malicious lie.
Yes.
That's what it was. Black folks believe, and they walk around, and white people, for some reason, they don't have a thought process like this. Anything that they don't like, white Americans, they believe is racist if you're a different color. I want white people to understand. If you don't give a black person a job and you're white, somehow you're racist. I'm dead serious. Things of this nature. If you don't give a black person a discount, you're racist. If you don't help them in some sort of way, you don't go out of your way to do something they asked, you're racist. If you say something and it hurts their feelings, Anthony Allen, guess what that is?
Racist.
There you go. You can't win with these folks. But yet white people still trying to appease these type of folks. And let me tell you something, you appease until you're kicked to the sea, like the South Africans when they're chased off the cliff to the sea, literally. I want people to understand that. This is absolutely outrageous. Anthony Allen, you're right. That woman definitely needs to be sued. Through and through. NAACP president need to be sued as well. You got to be cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs just to hear some black folks say something like this, and then you jump up like a guard dog and start running your mouth without even checking it out to see that the information is correct. He didn't do that. That lets me know that most black men who think like him think like a woman. It was an emotional response.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying? And this is what happened. This whole racist crap is an emotional thing. And nobody's using common sense or logic. If he was a real man and he heard, hey, well, they were closing and some white woman said she never seen that many black people in my life. The logical thing to do is, hey, that statement not even racist itself. I mean, okay, right. And they were closing. So the heck what? Let me go and check to see if they were just closing because those black people were there. You know what I'm saying? He would easily find out that it was a lie, but he didn't do his due diligence. So it lets me know that black folks, in a sense, they don't trust white people at all. The trust is nil if they're able to just jump like this. And then what you said was very important, that the NAACP president was humbling himself and apologized. And in my personal opinion, he should have, really put down a lot of these black folks in the community who are thinking in this behavior. He should have said, hey, not everything white people are saying is racist. Not everything that white people are doing is racist, because in this benign statement of I've never seen this many black people in my life, that was taken out of context to a point where they've labeled the whole establishment racist, including the person, and that's absolutely wrong. Last words here, sir.
Yeah, the woman lost her livelihood. I can imagine that being very, very hurtful to her as a white person, trying to talk and get along with people. And you know what? It probably was a compliment anyway. This is the same thing that happened to Will Smith.
Mm-hmm.
He was given a compliment. Chris Rock gave him a compliment that he wants to see his wife as G.I. Jane, and he didn't even know how to take a compliment. And so once someone said, I've never seen so many, black people. My son, he played football for Oak Ridge High School, and they went down to Atlanta, Chocolate City, and the white guys came back and they said, we've never seen so many black girls in all of my life. Golly, they were beautiful.
Yep.
Wow. I mean, these black folk are so woke, they don't even know a compliment when
There
they
you
hear
go.
one anymore. And it needs to stop, and someone needs to get sued, and that's when it will all stop, when money is exchanged for being stupid like this.
You're absolutely correct. Once they're sued, let me tell you, it will wreak havoc in the black community. Black folks will understand that their words and their actions have consequences.
Yes.
They would absolutely know that. They would walk back that retarded view that everything that white people say that they don't like is racist. And they'll actually start listening, and they'll actually start, conversating and, how could I say, interacting with white people with real human compassion. You have to be an evil person, Anthony Allen, to take a statement like that, to walk in an establishment like that, and then charge these people with racism. That black woman has an evil heart. No matter how nice she looks, she has an evil heart, because evil people think like this. You have to have that evil awareness, that mindset, to be able to think like that and to act and behave in that manner. I want people to understand that's not a normal mindset to have. That's a mindset of insecurity and fear, to be walking around and thinking that everybody is out to get you because of your skin color. You gotta be nuts. Let's go ahead and move forward. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you do share. I want to go ahead and give a shout out to a few folks here. I want to go ahead and give a shout out to Lee Ann Glass and Jerome Glass. They donated. Says Jerome and I challenged 10 more to match us. Shout out to the squad. Also want to give a shout out to my guy John Lennon. Donated. Took the PayPal challenge. Says a little something. And I want to go ahead and give a big shout out to our main man. Let me tell you, built like an ox, brother from another mother. Let me tell you, I want to be like you. Hold on, I want to be like you. Beautiful white man, beautiful white wife that he has as well. Let me tell you, Stephen Marlowe. Let me tell you, shout out to Stephen Marlowe.
Amen.
Let me tell you. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you do share. All right, especially on YouTube. We'll have our regular channel back on Thursday. But gosh darn, we got the backup channel up. So make sure folks know where the backup is. All right, I'm trying to hit folks mods, that mod button for folks. I think I got to hit Megan Hutchinson as well. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you do share. All right, absolutely. Next one up, I want to go ahead here and let me pull this up here. Bingo, bango. We in business. I want to go ahead and speak to you guys about another racist incident, brand new one. Man, I'm telling you, they don't stop. They absolutely don't stop, ladies and gentlemen. This has to do with what they call racist graffiti. Yeah, racist graffiti was found at a high school, ladies and gentlemen, in a bathroom in West Hartford. I want to go ahead and run this story. When it comes back, I want to speak to you guys about it. Back in the day, pranksters, kids who had problems, they used to terrorize the school and communities by fake bomb threats, right? A gun in a backpack, right? Maybe a cookie cutter gun. You heard about that one. Kid, made a gun out of a cookie when he was eating it.
Yeah.
Gosh darn it, the whole school got to close down. But let me tell you something. You don't need all that anymore. All you need, ladies and gentlemen, is a Sharpie. Yeah. You can shut down a school in a community with a Sharpie pen. Absolutely. You go to a wall in a school, you go ahead and you write niggers must die. Gosh darn it, you get out of school for free. Yeah, they'll shut down the whole school, try to look for somebody. You get out of school, you probably get sent home, and you get nice lectures. I mean, it's beautiful now. Kids don't need guns. They don't need bombs to shut down schools and get out. All you need is a Sharpie pen. Take a look at this when I come back. I want to get your take on this. Racist graffiti. My goodness gracious, our kids.
Officials in West Hartford are investigating after racist graffiti was found inside bathrooms at Hall High School. Channel 3 Hartford Bureau Chief Aya Galal has been following this story. She is live outside the school with more on how the school is taking action. Aya.
And Aaron, staff are now limiting the number of bathrooms students can use inside of Hall High School. Monitoring will also take place more frequently by bathrooms. And we spoke with some students off camera. They tell us they saw that racist graffiti inside multiple bathrooms here at Hall High School.
It's really should not take place in high school or anywhere, really.
Tonight, West Hartford school officials are trying to figure out who was responsible for writing racist things inside the bathrooms at Hall High School.
Of course, it's a terrible thing that it happened. Should not happen anywhere.
Following the incidents, school staff will be monitoring the bathrooms of the high school more carefully. The school is also limiting bathroom availability. Parents like Susan Murphy were upset upon learning what happened.
Yeah, you would hope at this point that there's a lot more understanding, compassion, with the students.
School administrators did not disclose what exactly was written inside the bathrooms, but the district made it clear this type of behavior is unacceptable. In a letter to parents, administrators wrote in part, quote, "As a Hall community, we are committed to creating an environment where every student feels safe, respected, and supported. We need to work together to ensure Hall is a safe and welcoming environment for all."
I hope, like the rest of the world, they can work it out and be peaceful and respectful towards each other and learn just how much weight words and actions carry.
And school administrators said anyone found responsible for committing these acts will be held responsible, and that could include expulsion. Reporting live tonight in West Hartford, Aya Galal, Channel 3.
Bow. So, Anthony Allen, let me tell you something. Crazy night right now. Let me tell you. I don't know what's going on. Crazy night. But this is even crazier. It's absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
You don't need a gun anymore. You don't need a bomb threat. You don't need to do anything. All you need is a Sharpie. You go and write some crap on the school wall. And let me tell you something. The school is shutting down. Are we giving too much attention to these type of things here? Because it looks like, it's getting worse and worse. The more attention we spend on what they call racism and racist stuff. What do you think?
Yeah, these incidents, they are given more attention than they should, okay? And usually these incidents are found out to be hoaxes, okay?
Absolutely.
The assumption is this: white students did this against black students, and white Christians did this against Muslims, or white toxic males did this against those pretending to be of the opposite gender. And of course, they interview all the nice and pleasant, white ladies, and they are also buying into the narrative that somehow they are guilty of this. And they are heartbroken that the assumption is, and they do feel as if there's some white children there that did this. We don't know who did it, and it usually turns out to be a big hoax. And we know that growing up, there was all kinds of things written on the bathroom wall. But the idea that now the whole teaching staff has been utilized to focus on the bathrooms, all these teachers have to hover around the bathrooms now because someone may write something on the bathroom stall, on the
Yep.
bathroom wall. This is ridiculous, okay? Because this takes away from one thing that's very important to the school, and that's academics. And that's what's being done here. Academics is being taken away. Reading, writing, and arithmetic is being taken away. And like you so eloquently said, Jermain Botsio, all someone needs is a Sharpie. I got my Sharpie, leave me alone. I'm gonna go right on the bathroom wall, something really bad. Oh no, don't do that, please. And that's what we're getting to. A bunch of snowflake students and snowflake teachers are now making more of this stuff than is necessary. And it's going to be detrimental to our children because they will no longer be able to face the real world where things are really said. All they do is go to a bathroom and write something, and the whole school shuts down, and the whole community is guilty now of being racist. They're making more of this than it should be, Jermain Botsio.
Absolutely. And Mr. Allen, I can tell you, the more attention we spend on this,
yes,
the more people are going to start doing it because kids aren't dumb in a sense. They know that, hey, look at, all I got to do is write this and look at, we get out of school and, I don't have to worry about my test. Yep. We can sit back and eat ice cream and talk about our feelings because this is the way it is, right? Somebody writes, all niggers should die. All of a sudden, the school shut down. They have to write a letter about the incident to all the parents, right? Then they have what they call a PTA meeting. Yes. All the parents are showing up, voicing their opinion. Oh, my goodness gracious. My Jamar Quavius, my little son there. Jamar, show him your new Jordan shoes about you. Show him. Oh, yeah, Jamar Quavius, he walked into school, and then he went to the bathroom, and he saw an evil son and said, all niggas should die. Oh, my God. Jamar Quavius, tap dance for him. Tap dance for him. Oh, my goodness gracious. We got to make sure that nobody will ever say interracial thing. That's the way they are. And it blows my mind. It's mama all over. So now they're policing against people's speech. Back in the day, I want the young folks to understand, back in the day, if somebody wrote all niggers should die, right? Or some dumb stuff, you know what would happen? You know what? Hold on. Nothing. Back in the day, they used to draw penises on the wall. Yeah, penises and vaginas. Absolutely. They draw right here to say, your mouth here. They used to do dumb stuff like that. And guess what? No, the school didn't shut down. There was no dumb PTA meetings, right? There wasn't any counseling. Because I know some of y'all out there, you need counseling for stuff like this, right? Microaggressions and all this. None of that was there. And I think that was the best approach. Because what it did was it stopped people from being so damn insecure and stopping learning. This stuff is stopping learning and it's stopping people to cope emotionally when people bring dumb stuff up. Last words here, sir.
Exactly. The bathroom walls, they always had all kinds of junk, trash, garbage written on the bathroom walls. Mm-hmm. And you know what? Class continued. Okay. They would say, call this number, or this person is, that person is, all kinds of drawings on the bathroom walls, and ugly things being said. The nigger word was frequently on that bathroom wall. Okay. And now you have whole schools shutting down. We're creating a bunch of snowflakes that can't deal with reality. And like you said, nothing happened. The janitor would eventually get into, washing down the bathroom and bathroom walls the best he could to get it off of there. But the school wasn't shut down, and the teacher didn't spend time hovering around the bathroom to make sure that someone didn't have a Sharpie in their hand going in. This is ridiculous. It's time to move on, and this guilt that white people have to feel every time there's a racial word written somewhere. Stop it. Don't feel guilty about that word. People have become millionaires by saying that word over and over and over again. So don't feel guilty. It's time to move on. Tell your black friends to stop it and to move on.
Absolutely. Shout out to Katie Walker. Says, I certainly don't remember any school getting shut down when some boy wrote the men's room wall for a good time called Sherry 8624739. Oh, that song.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's hilarious. Shout out to Katie Walker. Let me get Katie Walker. That was good. Oh, yeah. I used to sing that song too, Katie Walker. Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, they never shut down the school for that. But because nowadays, a lot of these, schools are emotional learning centers. Once the kids, see somebody's emotionally jarred, gosh darn it, you got to shut down the whole school. It's crazy, and you never get anywhere doing this. I wish people would learn from this, but I guess it is what it is right now. Let's go ahead and move forward. Make sure you guys do us a favor. Hit that like button. Make sure you do share. We gonna definitely need your help. You can see how crazy the world is right now, right? Absolutely. Next one up here, ladies and gentlemen, I want to go ahead and speak to you guys about a topic we spoke about last show. A lot of people are speaking about this, and it's taken off. For some reason, the liberals are spending time on this. And I believe that they are spending time on this because they want to push a bill that deals with a moratorium on evictions. And they also are trying to sneak in what we call universal basic income. So, crisis, in a sense, needs to happen a lot of the time to push a rotten agenda through. And this one is no different. I want to go ahead and speak to you guys about what they call a new analysis that shows black women being targeted in what they call disproportionate evictions. Yes, they said that black women are being evicted at twice the rate of white women. And if black women are being evicted, that means black children. Ooh-wee. Take a look at this. Make sure you guys share, hit that like button. I need your help. Here we go.
All right, black women are getting evicted from their homes at an alarming rate. In fact, more than any other group, and that's according to a brand new analysis from USA Today looking at 4 years of local and national data. But why exactly is this happening, and can we do anything to stop it? Of course we can. Joining me now are two experts on the issue. Rashida Phillips, she's the Director of Housing at PolicyLink. She's also making her cross-connection debut this morning, so thank you for being here. And friend of the show, Diane Yentl, returning champion. She's president and CEO of the National Low Income Housing Coalition. Very happy to have both you ladies here. Diane, I want to start with you. Is this a case of many people, regardless of race, owing back rent, but black women bearing the brunt of the eviction crisis?
That's certainly a part of it. The eviction crisis existed long before the pandemic, but the pandemic exacerbated it. And certainly pre-pandemic, during the pandemic, and after the pandemic, black women are most harmed. It happens as a result of structural racism. It happens through a broken housing system that favors landlords at the expense of renters, and through a social safety net with gaping holes for predominantly black women to fall through. We did have some protections and resources in place during the pandemic to prevent the eviction tsunami that otherwise would have happened. But now, as those resources are being depleted and as the protections are expiring, evictions in many communities are surpassing pre-pandemic averages.
Well, given that Black women are overrepresented when it comes to evictions, Rashida, evicting Black women also means evicting Black children. What's the impact on families when this happens, particularly disproportionate to people who look like you and I?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as you said, the odds are stacked against Black women and their families at every turn. It's not just housing, it's the economy and legal system that undercut them both before and after the eviction. And what we see that every system is designed to fail Black women and their families at every turn. And it's not just a coincidence.
Every system is designed to fail Black women. Holy smokes.
Profits and benefits from that outcome. But the results are, right, that when families are evicted, it's a lifelong impact. It thrusts them into poverty. And as the USA News story talked about, right, the impacts are far reaching.
Wow, and let me stop it right here.
Educational opportunities. It impacts
let me
their
stop it right here. So this Black woman with the nappy hair, her hair looked like burnt taco meat. My goodness gracious. Anthony Allen, did she know that she was hopping on here? How you gonna hop on TV? Ladies and gentlemen, how you gonna hop on TV with your hair looking like burnt taco meat? You get what I'm saying? Look like there's somebody just like just threw it on top of her head there. Let me tell you, a crazy woman with some crazy rhetoric. She says that the system here in America is designed to fail Black women at every turn. Anthony Allen, what do you say to this woman here where her hair looking like an ashtray? What do you say here?
Yeah, that was an outrageous statement, to say that every system is designed to fail Black women at every turn. What does that mean? Okay, all that is, this is what we call critical race theory. Okay, this is structural racism, where the very foundation of America, the very buildings, the very institutions, they are designed purposely to be racist, and now they're coming after Black women. Okay, we have a situation where we have a female Black vice president, a female justice of the Supreme Court. We have all these women in legislative power. You have judges, but now every system is designed against Black women. How did those Black women get there? If
that's what I was about to say.
Yeah. How did they get there if every system is designed to be against Black women? Because what we're watching is the normalization of critical race theory. Okay, and this is what they're doing. They want to normalize it. They want to talk about this, and the reason that they're doing this is because of one person, Ketanji Brown Jackson.
Oh yeah, Jumanji.
Okay, because she is a critical race theorist, and they're going to have all kinds of legislation that will reach the Supreme Court. So now the fake news media, they're making sure that they talk about all the racism. And this is just critical race theory talk. That's all this is, because they have someone in place that will carry the water, that will vote with them.
There you go.
Condemning America. And ever since that she has been appointed to that position on the Supreme Court, okay, everyone is coming out of the woodworks on this issue. And that's all this is. More talk about critical race theory and trying to normalize it.
You ain't lying about that, Anthony Allen. This right here, ladies and gentlemen, is because Black women don't want to get married. You just can't make this stuff up here. And let me go ahead and show this statistic, because this makes sense when you see it.
Right.
Look at this. And this goes to the out of wedlock birth rate, Anthony Allen, too.
Mm-hmm.
It really does. 29% of children, black children, are living in poverty. And the reason why that is because black women and black Americans in general don't see a value in family. And when I say this, I know folks out there, they get mad and upset. I know, right? You get mad and upset when I say this, but it's the absolute truth. Because if you did, you would stay together when you had children, but you don't. Now, Joy, calm down, sweetheart. Joy is a black woman. Calm down, sweetheart. You know, I actually gave this black woman, the one with the burnt taco meat, I gave her some credit on last show for coming out and having natural hair. I absolutely did. My wife said I was making fun of her because I'm bald-headed. I said, you know what? Gosh darn it. If I had hair, I'd probably clown too. But she got more hair than me. I'll give her that. But at least she came out with her own real hair. She wasn't looking like some of these other women with, looking like a gosh darn Black and Mild, crushed red velvet weave, the beehive and all sorts of crazy stuff. She didn't do that. So I give her credit, Anthony Allen. She came out with her own hair, but she's still crazy. And if she crazy, I got a clown. I'm sorry. So shout out to Joy. Joy is a beautiful woman. So that's what it comes down to, Anthony Allen. A lot of these black women also are on Section 8. Section 8, let me tell you, pays a certain portion of your rent. A lot of the time they'll pay up to 100% if you're really disabled. But most of the time they pay about 90%. So you'll have people who have to pay maybe $100 for the rent, Anthony Allen, $50, $25. And these people, they don't want to go and work to just go and get the $25 to pay. They don't want to do that. So what happens is a lot of times it starts stacking up. And before you know it, they can't pay it. Last words here, sir.
Yeah, that's exactly what's taking place, Jermain Botsio. The government has been giving black women a pass for a very, very long time. They do not have to get married. They can have as many children as they want to, and they get Section 8 housing, and they live there happily ever after. And then when things get a little bit more expensive, they don't say, well, I'll just take an extra job. I'll just try to work harder to, make ends meet. They say, put me out. And so no other race of, people get this kind of hands up by the government except black women. Black women get this, okay? And they guard that. And they are not going to pay an extra $5, an extra $10. They aren't going to take a job, at some fast food restaurant to make ends meet. They're going to just, get evicted and go someplace else. And that's what we're dealing with. But this whole idea that every system is designed to fail black women at every turn, that is outrageous. And no other race, the Asians don't get it, the white women don't get it. No one gets this except black women. It has got to stop, because this treatment is treating black women like they are pets, like they're just inferior little children that have to be coddled continuously. White women, Hispanics, Asians, they don't want that. But the black women, that's what they want to have happen to them. Hey, let me give a shout out to some people here.
Go ahead, brother.
Leanne, Jonathan, and Christian. Thank you very much for your donation. They really do come in handy to keep this program going and alive. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Shout out to the beautiful Kristen Walker. She donated as Well,
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Shout out to Joy Roan. Joy Roan says that you are right. She's seen folks pay $8. I've seen folks living on Section 8 only paying $8 a month and can't pay that. Why? Yeah. I know.
Yeah.
That's why I said, like, the things that I talk about, a lot of folks get mad when I speak like this because a lot of the times they're doing the bullshit that I'm talking about. They get mad, they convict themselves. They're like, gosh darn, why is he speaking like this? Because I like to speak in the raw terms. I don't like to be BSing around with folks. When I speak like this, you can't BS, man. It brings it down to what we call reality, and then we have a real conversation, right? When you speak to a liberal, you speak to a dummy out there, they're not trying to have real conversations a lot of time. They beat around the bush and all sorts of other dumb stuff. I like to have real conversations. And when you speak to a lot of these people on Section 8, you'll see that their rent, $10, $15, $50, $100, they can't even pay it. And you're like, you can't pay $50 to stay here in this 2-bedroom gosh darn crapola? You can't pay $50. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it blows my mind. I see little kids hustling, selling dollar waters on the corner who can pay their gosh darn tuition bill. And you mean to tell me these women can't even pay $50? So it lets you know that a lot of the people who are laying up, especially a lot of these black women, they're laying up and they're expecting the government to take care of them. It's laziness and it's irresponsibility. And that's why you get these numbers. When you look at the Asian and the white children on there, the reason why it's so low in a sense is because of the marriage rate. Asians in a sense, they don't get divorced like that. Once they stay married, they stay married. There isn't this I wasn't happy crap that a lot of American women do. White women, a lot of them married and stay married. That's why you have this black folks out there. The new generation, they're getting married and they're staying married. I said the new ones. But what we have now with the older folks, a lot of them older folks didn't get married. They followed Oprah and the rest of this feminist stuff, and look at what you have. Let's go ahead and move forward. Next one up. I want to go ahead here, brother, and speak to you about Palm Springs in California. They are making a wave right now. Let me tell you, they are. Palm Springs right now is to develop what they call guaranteed income program for transgender people, transgender residents. It's the most craziest thing in the world. I want people to listen to what I just said. Palm Springs in California wants to give transgender residents guaranteed basic income. Yes. Crazy, right? Take a look at this. Make sure you share.
Tonight in Palm Springs, a new pilot program for providing financial support for transgender and non-binary residents is in the works. News Channel 3's Jake Ingrassia has more tonight on how the city hopes to tap into millions of dollars in state funding to help LGBTQ homelessness and poverty.
Palm Springs City Council putting $200,000 toward researching and designing a guaranteed income program for transgender and non-binary residents. The city partnering with local nonprofit organizations DAP Health and QueerWorks. to develop a pilot program.
One of the most marginalized populations in our city, transgender and non-binary individuals who face some of the highest levels of housing insecurity, joblessness, and discrimination.
This is a chance to help individuals receive money to subsidize the gap in income that the trans and non-binary community faces due to having some of the highest levels of unemployment in this country.
The money, which could total $600 to $900 to 20 participants each month, would come after applying for millions from the state budget. About 50% of the funding would have to be matched.
The state of California has $35 million available for these programs, and our trans and non-binary residents need a piece of that pie.
Councilmember Christy Holstage saying there's an urgency to tap into that money, but Palm Springs stands a good chance.
Since there are very few inland California cities that are doing these pilot programs, we might be at the top of the list for state funding because the state wants to distribute this equitably.
The vote was unanimously in support, but Mayor Lisa Middleton worried about the small scale of the project with 400,000 in poverty in Riverside County.
My serious concern is the ability of these guaranteed income programs to scale up to the magnitude of the issues that are before us.
We estimate we will bring well over $1 million in Palm Springs, and it will translate into improved housing and healthcare outcomes.
Money for the marginalized.
Like my drill
and a new
sergeant.
program soon to come. Jake Gracia, News Channel 3, Palm Springs.
That lady sound like my ex oil mechanic. I can tell you that. Sound like McGruff daddy. I can tell you that. Lisa Middleton sound like McGruff daddy. Anthony Allen, let me tell you something. These people are outrageous. Absolutely outrageous here. They want to fill in the gap for transgender folks who can't get a job. For some reason, they said they're discriminated against. They can't get a job, unemployment, can't find housing. Let me tell you the reason why. I have a lot of reasons why they suffering. It's because, in my personal opinion, Anthony, I think they living in La La Land. What do you think about this here, sir?
Yeah, my friend, they are living in La La Land. I mean, they can show up in some weird outfits, and they will not be employed because they have these weird piercings and strange hair colors and the way they're dressed. So yeah, they are living in La La Land. And this bill has to do with not only transgenders, it has to do with non-binary. And a non-binary person is someone that doesn't have a gender identity. They don't feel like they're male. They don't feel like they're female. They can have the necessary accoutrements to be a male or a female. But guess what? These strange people, they don't feel as if they are male or female. Okay. Mm-hmm. So this money, what is it? $600 to $900. They get to have this kind of money. But what we're dealing with also is the fact that Democrats, liberals, and Disney and LGBTQ, whatever, they want to enforce what I call the pedophile agenda. Mm-hmm. Okay, here is the pedophile agenda: government-sanctioned grooming in the schools. Number one. Number two, reinforcement of grooming in places of business like Disney World or Disneyland, and enticement of grooming by municipalities, just like what we're talking about now. And this is another case for reparations. And I am quite sure that our liberal Black reparation addicts, they are really angry that people who cannot define what a woman is or a man, they get reparations, okay? These people who are really Black, they don't get reparations. People who feel as if they may be a different gender, they get reparations. Mm-hmm. So now we're back to this emotional thinking, whereas someone that is Black, these liberals, these what I call reparation addicts, they have been loyal to the Democratic Party all these years, seeking reparations. And guess who undercuts them? People with purple hair,
Mhm.
people with green hair, people that dress in, the opposite gender clothing. They have become the new Negroes for the Democrat Party and liberals. And the loyal black liberals, they get cold turkey.
Mm.
That's the withdrawal, cold turkey.
Absolute cold turkey. I can tell you that. Anthony Allen, my reasoning here, the reason why they're living in La La Land is because if they use common sense, they would know that a lot of employers wouldn't hire them based upon the way they look and their work ethic and attitude.
Yes.
I'm just sorry, but if you're showing up with rainbow color hair, platform shoes, fishnet stockings, right? In a halter top that looked like it came from Jamaica, there's something wrong with you.
Yeah.
You're not going to work for me. You're not going to work for anybody out there who is serious about doing business. And I want folks to understand that. Now, Joy, I've read your comment, and I agree with your comment wholeheartedly. She says she's worked with folks getting people jobs, and she's gotten everybody a job, trans, non-binary, all sorts of dumb folks. So I don't think, in a sense, this is primarily for quote-unquote these people who say they can't get a job. I believe that this is another way to move wealth. Remember what I told you guys about these social programs and these new social groups that are popping up, LGBTQ. These people represent money. You have to understand the reason why they want to separate themselves from everybody and have themselves a special group is because you can bring money to them. If they were just like anybody else, they're not going to get any money. There has to be something special about them, if you know what I mean. And if you look at them, you know they're special. And there's some liberal out there who wants to capitalize on the dysfunction that is going on with them. There's always somebody out there. So when they're talking about we have $35 million in the pot to use for programs like this, guess what? There's Tina down the street. There's Jimmy. There's Becky. There's Susan, who are dumb and retarded. And let me tell you something. You know what they're doing? They're going like this. Okay, we're going to make a few organizations. One's going to be called Trans With Us, right? And we're just we're just going to help trans folks get jobs, right? We're going to hire my grandmother. Yeah, she's 99 years old. Don't you worry. She can just sit there and she loves telling stories. We'll hire her and people will come in. They'll talk, we'll collect their their information. We'll get paid by the government, and we're helping the community, That's how it works. Last words here, sir.
Yeah, very well said, because this is a money transfer. And also keep in mind that a lot of black people, they really do think that Ketanji Brown Jackson is on the Supreme Court for the liberal black agenda. No, she's not. She's on the Supreme Court for the pedophile agenda. That's what she's there for. So don't be fooled, black liberals, that, we have a black person, a black woman on the Supreme Court. That part may be true, but her agenda is not what you think it is. Because like you said, Jermain Botsio, these liberals have some new Negroes, and the new Negroes are the LGBTQ, wherever they are. And that's what they're going for. They have pushed blacks, the liberal blacks, aside once again. All the loyalty that the liberal blacks had, these LGBTQ, whatever, guess what? They are getting reparations, okay? You black folks that just vote for these Democrats all the time, you get zero, nothing.
Zilch, let me tell you.
Zilch.
And that's what they get. That's exactly what they get, Anthony Allen. Now, I want to segue to this story here on Breitbart real quick, because this goes along with everything we're talking about when it comes to sexual molestation of children, LGBTQ, all this stuff. It's all wrapped into one here. I want you guys to take a look at this. This is absolutely crazy. Let me go ahead and transition. Coming from Breitbart.com. Florida teacher molested 14-year-old, masturbated while video chatting with students, authorities say. This is a evil, let me tell you, absolutely evil. Man, I want to go ahead and run this quick clip. When it come back, I want to get you guys' take on this. We are catching so many of these predators now. Let me tell you, there's something in the water. There's something definitely in the water. Take a look at this. Here we go.
Derek lives in Lakeland. You know, he was also a basketball player for UT and Tennessee Tech, and was a free agent or in the draft for the NBA back in the day. What does he do now? Well, he's a teacher and a dean. That's right. He was at Crossroads Christian School, where he was the dean of students, a history teacher, a basketball coach, and a life management coach. Now, the life management that he was teaching these children is frightening. It's absolutely frightening. And here's how it all started. Victim number one, who was 18 and a student at the school, was having trouble with her father, and she said, I'm afraid that I'm not going to be able to come to school anymore. So she's confiding in Derek Stribling, her dean, her life management teacher. And she, during the conversations, it brought up that, by the way, the teacher told her, you've got a D in class right now. And she asked, was there any extra work I can do to bring my D grade up? And he went, as a matter of fact. And they started talking about sex. And it was filthy talk, nasty talk. And as a result, he began to do all kinds of nasty things and send it to her through social media.
Bow, and I want to stop it right there. So, Anthony Allen.
Yes, sir.
A lot of these child molesters, these child predators, take jobs to get closer to their victims. I think that we as parents, we as Americans, we need to look at a lot of people who take care of children, especially, you see these people all the time. They're so happy, overexcited to take care of children, and come to find out they're overexcited because they're molesting them. What do you think about this here?
Yeah, that's right on target. I do want to go back to what I said earlier. This is the pedophile agenda. And these pedophiles are coming out in the open. They feel free now, and they feel free for one reason. And that reason's name is Ketanji Brown Jackson.
Yep.
Okay. They feel comfort now that they have her on the Supreme Court. And so we are going to be dealing with these pedophiles that are going to start working this agenda. They want pedophilia to be normalized. They want the school system to be a breeding ground. They want municipalities and businesses to also help indoctrinate these children. And that's what she's there for. And this whole idea that this grown man would somehow feel that he wants to be around children to that extent is part of what pedophilia is.
Yep.
Where a grown man or even a grown woman, they feel drawn toward, and sexually excited about children.
Let me go ahead and, when I look at this, Anthony Allen,
yeah,
this type of ordeal happens way too often. And I believe it's because a lot of people are getting indoctrinated with a lot of images that aren't right. We're sexualizing the children in a lot of these films nowadays. You see Disney, they got these girls wearing short skirts now. If you look at even the culture, right? The children's clothes, especially the female ones, they're getting sexier and sexier. Little girls are throwing on things that you would see 20-something-year-olds wearing. So these type of things that are happening, it's almost like it's a grooming in a sense, and it's a way to interject these ideas into people who are susceptible to them, if you know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
There's certain suggestions that they put in a lot of these movies, right? If you even look at what they put in porn, right? They have sections called, I think, daddy daughter, right? They have things of that nature where they're promoting that pedophilia, right? And these type of things get folks like this doing stuff like that. And it's absolutely wrong. So I wanted to go ahead and point that out. Let's go ahead and move forward here, brother. Yes. Next one up here, I want to go ahead and speak to you guys about immigration. And before that, I want to go ahead and give a shout out to the beautiful Karina Taylor. Karina Taylor donated, took our challenge on PayPal. And she says, love your show for keeping it real. There's no fluff, straight to the facts. People get triggered only because they know what you're saying is true and they're part of the craziness. Absolutely. I found that out a long time ago. When I say certain things and people are jumping and going crazy after it, it's mostly because they're the ones who are doing that type of behavior. So I tend to, look at them and say, oh, okay, maybe you doing it too. Crazy. Moving forward here, I want to go ahead and speak to you guys about Texas. Texas right now, ladies and gentlemen, Governor Greg Abbott, he is pissing off a lot of folks. He wants to send immigrants that are crossing the border, the ones that are approved by Biden. Let me tell you, see, approved by Biden. He wants to ship them to D.C., Absolutely. I'm for this. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you share. Here we go.
We start with the latest announcement from Governor Greg Abbott. He says the state will send migrants from the Texas border to the steps of the U.S. Capitol.
Yeah, he says that's in response to the end of Title 42, a pandemic rule that allowed the expulsion of migrants and asylum seekers in an effort to prevent the spread of COVID.
Our Michelle Choi is live this morning, breaking it all down for us. Michelle, good morning.
Kimberly and Dave, good morning. Yeah, a lot of people reacting to Governor Greg Abbott's new immigration plan, including Houston representatives and organizations. Now, why and how does he plan on implementing this? Well, take a look by sending busloads of migrants from Texas to our nation's capital after they are processed and released by the Department of Homeland Security. Now, the state has up to 900 buses available for its operation, according to the Texas Division of Emergency Management. An unprecedented move, the governor says, is necessary.
We are sending them to the United States Capitol, where the Biden administration will be able to more immediately address the needs of the people that they are allowing to come across our border.
As we said, this is in response to Title 42, a pandemic-era health order ending next month that started under the Trump administration, blocking migrants from entering the U.S. in order to prevent COVID from spreading. But not everyone agrees with Abbott's plan, including state legislators who believe this is just for the governor's political gain since he's up for re-election.
This is just another of his series of political stunts. He is more worried about mobilizing his base and getting reelected than he is about taking care of people here in Texas.
The mockery of the seriousness of people who are fleeing a crisis made by this governor is shameful.
Yeah, if the plan moves forward, local advocate organizations tell us they plan on taking legal action despite the governor's claim that these transfers to D.C. will be voluntary. By the way, yesterday's announcement was just part one of the governor's plan. We're told that he'll have more details next week.
Absolutely. Let me go ahead and stop it right here. Dumb and Dumber. Anthony Allen, let me tell you, beautiful idea by Governor Greg Abbott. Now, the representatives here have they're saying something different here. They're saying that this is a ploy for him to, basically a stunt. He wants to be reelected. Governor Greg Abbott, let me tell you something. You deserve an ass whooping. You know why you deserve an ass whooping, right? Governor Greg Abbott, you know why. I seriously hope this is not a stunt. But given his reputation in the past, I can tell you he got to do whatever he can to win folks over. What do you think, yes, sir?
Yeah, this is good. I am glad that this man that's bound to a wheelchair is at least trying to stand up to Joe Biden.
Absolutely.
Now, but like you said, he needs to make sure that he follows through on this. Okay, now, because I really cannot wait until I see some buses from Texas going up to Washington, D.C. and seeing some illegal aliens stepping off of the bus at the Capitol or at the White House. We want to see that happen because this is what bold leadership needs to be about if Governor Abbott follows through. Now, we also have heard that Governor DeSantis of Florida, he is also talking about getting a busload of illegal immigrants or illegal aliens, I should say, and taking them up to Delaware, the home state of the president. Mm-hmm. This is what we need to happen. Conservatives, Republicans, they need to follow through on this type of bold behavior and bold action if we want to, convince the American people that Joe Biden and the administration needs to be impeached. The other thing that these actions, they will go all the way to the Supreme Court. And guess what? Waiting there will be the Democrats' ace in the hole, Ketanji Brown Jackson. So this will also challenge that idea. So yeah, I like what he said. I hope he follows through on this. I want Governor DeSantis. Now, DeSantis will follow through. Mm-hmm. He is the type of guy that says something and he will follow through on that. Abbott, on the other hand, sometimes he falls short, but at least he's making motions in the right direction. But I do want to see it happen. It's a great idea.
It's an absolute great idea, Anthony Allen. And I'm hoping, I'm seriously hoping that he will follow through with it. He needs to be stern. Stop saying that it'll be voluntary. If I was governor, ain't no voluntary. They're all being shipped, and I'll say very sternly, they're all being shipped. I don't care what he's saying. But right. They're not doing it. And I hope he's not playing the game. If he plays the game like this, people remember what he did. So that's why he's doing all sorts of stuff to try to make himself look tough. I hope he knows his ass is on the line.
Yep.
It's on the line. Now, let me tell you what's on the line, Anthony Allen. American lives on the border. I could tell you is on the line. Now, a lot of people didn't know that a female cartel boss was recently arrested, and her arrest broke out into a very, very, very long gunfight on the U.S.-Mexico border. I want you guys to take a look at this footage here. And when it comes back, I want to speak about this. This is exactly what we've been speaking about for a very long time. We need to care about our country and our sovereignty and our borders instead of sending tens of billions of dollars to Ukraine to secure their sovereignty and their border. Take a look at this. Here we go.
All right, check these out. Some pretty stunning images from America's southern border. And a high-ranking drug cartel leader's arrest igniting gunfights on the Mexican side of the border. The violence escalating to the point of temporarily shutting down 2 international bridges. Authorities also confirm a grenade explosion at the U.S. consulate in Nuevo Laredo, right across the U.S. border, with federal employees there instructed to shelter in place. Correspondent Marky Martin is live for us tonight in Dallas. So, Marky, tell us, why would getting a cartel leader off the streets actually turn into more violence?
Yeah, Nicole, you're about to see a lot of video, but I will tell you right off the top, what is happening in Nuevo Laredo is exactly the kind of violence that Governor Abbott has been pointing to for the last year when he's touting his Operation Lone Star, and his changing of leadership at the very top of the National Guard might actually be his first acknowledgement that things aren't operating smoothly.
The sounds of gunfire piercing the night in Nuevo Laredo. Gang members paralyzing traffic with spike strips. Charred tractor trailers lining the highway.
You saw some of the destruction of 18-wheelers, vehicles along the pathway.
Congressman Henry Cuellar from Laredo, Texas, says the violence was sparked over a high-profile cartel arrest.
One group is not happy because they got their leader. The other 2 are saying, is there a vacuum in here? Maybe we need to come in. So there might be fights over Plaza because of what happened, capturing that high-ranking individual.
The man arrested, one of Border Patrol's most wanted criminals, Juan Gerardo Trevino, also known as El Huevo. He's the leader of the Cartel of the Northeast, with a long rap sheet. His arrest, a powerful blow to that gang's power in the area. Now, 2 other cartels are vying for their business. 3 gangs taking to the streets, firing at Mexican troops and each other, shutting down the U.S. consulate, and 2 international bridges in the process. All of this on the same day Governor Greg Abbott appointed a new leader to run the Texas National Guard. General Thomas Seltzer is replacing General Tracy Norris, who had been in charge of the Texas Military Department for 3 years and the embattled Operation Lone Star since its inception.
What we do know is that the results that we've seen on the border have been difficult living conditions for soldiers, endemic pay problem, lack of key equipment.
Davis Winkie is a reporter with the Army Times who first broke operational problems with Operation Lone Star. A press release from Governor
Anthony Allen. So you can see here that the border is crazy. They caught a cartel boss, a female one, let me tell you, and it was hell on the border there. National news ain't speaking about this. It seemed like they glossed over this.
Yes.
What do you think?
Yeah, they are actually spiking the war on our southern border. There's a war down there on our southern border. And I have said plainly and in no uncertain terms that sane Americans need to take down their Ukrainian flags and fly the American flags in support of the war on our southern border. This war down there, we're being infiltrated by enemy forces. And guess what? This country has been chemically attacked. They keep talking about the chemical attack that may happen in Ukraine. This country is under chemical attack from Mexico and the Chinese. And the chemical attack is the fentanyl attacks. We have more Americans dying, more civilians. These are civilians dying because of the chemical attack through fentanyl made by the Mexicans and the Chinese. And that should be stopped. That is an act of war. Also, our computer systems are being attacked 24/7, 365 relentlessly by the Chinese. our infrastructure is being attacked. And we can see from this video that there's, fires, shooting, killings down there on the border. And it is a big distraction that fake news and the Democrat Party want to just move Americans away from what's happening, the war that's on our southern border. And it is a tragic distraction. So maybe, hopefully, sane Americans, conservative Americans will take down those, Ukrainian flags and become patriotic about what's happening in our own country. I say America first.
Absolutely. America first. They need to take down the Ukrainian flags. People like Sean Hannity are doing us a disservice, Anthony Allen. They keep caping and talking about Ukraine. We must do everything we can for Ukraine. But yet he's not speaking about the hell that's going on at the border and rallying conservatives and keeping his eye really on the ball. He's not doing that. He's playing into the same politics that the liberal lefts are doing, and that's just when it comes to Ukraine, Sean Hannity is a lefty on that. It's almost like his brain switched over into left mode when he starts speaking about Ukraine. He doesn't speak the truth on it, which is upsetting for a lot of folks. Now, Anthony Allen, last but not least, I want to speak to you about something that Liz Cheney was asked. And a lot of people, let me tell you, are speaking about this. Trump facing criminal charges. All right. The January 6th committee, I believe, has wrapped up their investigation here. A lot of people are trying to figure out what the recommendations will be, what will come out of it. And one of the biggest questions is, will Trump face a criminal referral to the DOJ? I want to go ahead and run this here. When it comes back, I want to get your take on it. Make sure you guys share. Hit that like button for us. Here we go.
New York Times reporting this morning that your committee has concluded that you have enough evidence to make a criminal referral for President Trump to the Justice Department for obstructing an official proceeding and for conspiracy to defraud the United States. Is that true? Do you have enough evidence to refer Trump for criminal charges?
Well, we have not made a decision about referrals on the committee. I think that it is absolutely the case. It's absolutely clear that what President Trump was doing, what a number of people around him were doing, that they knew it was unlawful. They did it anyway. I think you certainly saw that in the decision that was issued by Judge Carter a few weeks ago, where he concluded that it was more likely than not that the President of the United States was engaged in criminal activity. I think what we have seen is a massive and well-organized and well-planned effort that used multiple tools to try to overturn an election. You've seen just in the last few days a plea agreement from one of the leaders of the Proud Boys, which lays out in really chilling detail the extent to which violence was planned, the extent to which the message that went out on December 19th about the planning, about the rally in Washington. And don't forget, Donald Trump tweeted out that message, be there, be wild, that the day after that message, the organization and the planning started, and that they understood, that they knew that they were going to attempt to use violence to try to stop the transfer of power. That is the definition of an insurrection, and it is absolutely chilling.
And just to be clear, you've seen this evidence and you believe President Trump committed these two crimes?
What I've just quoted to you is a public document. It is the plea agreement in the Donahoe case. Everybody can look at it. I would highly recommend everybody does look at it. It's the statement of offense in that plea agreement. The committee has obviously been focused very much, has got a tremendous amount of testimony and documents that I think very, very clearly demonstrate the extent of the planning and the organization and the objective, and the objective was absolutely to try to stop the count of electoral votes, to try to interfere with that official proceeding. And it's absolutely clear that they knew what they were doing was wrong, they knew that it was unlawful, and they did it anyway.
There's a dispute on your committee, as I don't need to tell you. Some people feel like a referral, which actually has no legal weight, would only taint the process under which Attorney General Merrick Garland might act. Some feel that that's the wrong argument, that right is right, and the committee has the evidence it has. Where do you come down?
There's not really a dispute on the committee. The committee is working in a really collaborative way to discuss these issues, as we are with all of the issues we're addressing, and we'll continue to work together to do so. So I wouldn't characterize there as being a dispute on the committee.
Wow. And I'm going to stop it right here. So Anthony Allen, it's almost like, the politicians love to, what I call, long ramble, speak. They speak in long sentences, no pauses. They do this so that they fumble your brain. It's a tactic that a lot of politicians take when they take public speaking courses and things of this nature. They sit there and they learn how to speak in long sentences, and they know that by psychology, the longer they speak, the longer it takes for you to recognize that they done finessed you out of the question you asked. You get what I'm saying? She didn't answer the question really. Do they have enough for a criminal referral? And we never got yes or no. We got some long-winded answers. In my personal opinion, it sounds like they ain't got nothing. What do you think?
Yeah, they don't have anything. And I've been talking about this for quite some time. They don't have anything, but they are going to make up everything. Mm-hmm. The Democrats, they have no plan to defeat Donald Trump on the campaign trail. What they want to do is to remove Trump from running for president in 2024. The J6 committee, the New York and the Florida AGs, they are all in a concerted effort to remove Trump from running as president. And these cases, they will go all the way to the Supreme Court. And guess who will be there? Yes, Ketanji Brown Jackson. She will be there so that these Democrats will get the outcome that they are seeking. Now, keep in mind too, Jermain Botsio, that we are witnessing a coup. This is the coup of America. We have three branches of government, and all three branches have to be overthrown. The executive branch was overthrown with the stealing of the 2020 election. The legislative branch was overthrown in Georgia with the election of Raphael Warnock and John Ossoff. Okay, the Senate was overthrown then, and now we have the overthrow of the judicial branch, and that is the appointment of Ketanji Brown Jackson to the Supreme Court. The coup is now complete, Jermain Botsio, and guess what? They will do everything they can to indict Trump to make sure that he cannot run as president. They will try to find something, no matter how minuscule, no matter how big, no matter how small. The idea is to get him off the campaign trail so they can install their own puppet. The puppet doesn't have to be Democrat or Republican. I mean, the puppet can be Democrat or Republican. It doesn't matter who the puppet is, but they want to install their own puppet, okay? And that's what we're dealing with. So they will try to indict him and use the 14th Amendment to make sure that he cannot run at all. Then the ultimate goal is to put Trump physically and literally in jail. That's what the J6 committee is all about, indicting Trump, taking him off the campaign trail, and putting him in jail.
You're absolutely correct, Anthony Allen. You can't get around that at all. Number one goal is to put him in jail to make sure he doesn't run. And it looks like these people here, they'll do whatever they can.
They are not kidding around. They are not playing around, my friend.
What a terrible bunch of folks. What a bunch of losers.
Yes.
Anthony Allen, buddy, pal, that is our show for tonight. I want to thank you for coming on in here and hanging out with us. I have another engagement I got to get rolling to.
Yes,
but
sir.
I want to thank everybody for coming on in here, hitting that like button and sharing. I really do. Any last words for a crowd before we depart here, sir?
Yeah, the crowd out there.